Today I will be speaking about a topic that is a little bit delicate. I think it's needed by many of my friends and many of my colleagues in Rotary. We really have some misunderstanding and some points that we really do not comprehend well when we are doing the meetings, our meetings. So it's an opportunity for all of us to share information. What I will try to do, the presentation is in something like 4 or 5 sectors. After every sector, I would stop and give a little bit of a pause in such a way that it gives an opportunity for those of you who have any questions or whatsoever to ask, and then we proceed rather than waiting till the end and then we ask plenty of questions. Right? What is the protocol? Protocol is something that we agree upon in such a way that when we gather or have a meeting or whatsoever, then we all should follow a code. The code, as usual, is an agreement between all of us about how we would look, how we would behave, and how we would do. Nevertheless, we'll talk about 4 or 5 things that are of most importance during Rotary meetings. The first one is the how to address the audience, and this is very important. I will try to be bilingual in such a way that I can help both languages in a sense, but nevertheless, there isn't much technical about it, so it should be okay. It's a huge challenge to do this in the short period of time to have the presentation in 2 languages, but I will see what I can do about this. One of the things that we really all miss is how to address the audience. And addressing the audience is how we call names and how we welcome our guests. So I will have a couple of minutes spent on this in particular. And then one of the most important other topics that we should talk about is the head table, how we set the head table. I had questions over the past couple of years, many questions on who sits where and who does what and things like this. So I will go through this, and then I will go into the dress code. The dress code in particular for men, for me it was very easy, but when it came to the ladies, it's quite a thing. So maybe you can help me out in this, because I will show you anyhow. And then how we can induce new Rotary members, and a brief presentation about how we can run a virtual meeting like what we are doing right now. Please, if you have any questions or whatsoever, just raise hand, and the moderator would give you the chance to ask the question properly when in the first stop that we talk about. Right. The first thing that we should look for is when we are calling our colleagues, we start by the current, and then the past, and then the future. This means that whenever I'm calling presidents, for example, the first one to be called is the current president. If there is a past president available, then we will go for the past president, and then for the future president, whatever, elect or nominee. The same goes for district governors, and this is a thing that we should all address. And then if there is a previous or a past district governor, by order برضو يبقى هو اللي بعديه. بعد كده لو في حد governor elect أو nominee يبقى هم اللي يجي بعد كده. If the Rotary International President is available in the meeting, he will be the first one to be greeted. The first one would be the Rotary International President. Who's next? نفس القاعدة. يبقى اللي بعد كده اللي هو past president، يبقى RI past president of presidents بالسeniority بتاعتهم، وبعدين البريزيدنت elect، وبعدين البريزيدنت nominee. افتكروا برضو، أنا برضو هرجع تاني كده ونقول لازم ننادي current, past and then future. جميل. طيب.
حسام.
Yes.
We have a question from Sana El Sharafa. I don't know. You want to take it
Yes,
now or...
Sana, our colleague. أهلا وسهلا. Sana, I'm all yours.
Actually, my question about when you are welcoming the audience,
Yes.
and you start with the current.
Yes.
Next is the previous or the past.
Yes.
The past, we might have 3 or 4 from the past district
By
governor.
seniority. By seniority, yes and
The oldest one, ولا ولا by
yeah, السينيور الموست سينيور اللي هو اقدم محافظ سابق.
I see. Okay, thank you.
نيجي بعد كده الفايس بريزيدنت، نيجي بعد كده التريجرر and then the directors، وبعدين ندخل بعد كده على الفلوس المهمه جدا، التي ار اف تراستي تشير والتراستي تشير elect والفايس تشير and other TRF trustees, and then we go to the general secretary للروتري انترناشونال. طيب نيجي بعد كده، يبقى بعد كده هنقول past directors elect, directors nominee, past trustee, incoming trustee, past secretaries, and then the coordinators wherever, whichever area or group or whatever we are doing. I hope this is clear for all of us. Then we have a local والlocal. أول حاجة في اللوكال وجود هو الديستريكت جوفرنر، ونيجي بعد كده district governor past district governors by seniority مرة تانية زي ما اتفقنا. Then the district governor elect and then the district governor nominee. طيب عندنا احنا in Rotary District 2451 we have specifically what's called assistant governor coordinator. He is the coordinator for the assistant governors for a specific geographical area or whatsoever. So he is now known called before the assistant governors, and then the district secretary, district treasurer. And then goes again the district governor aide. The district governor aide is again a position that is generally used in District 2451. And then the district committee chairs. So generally speaking, in district event, we start by calling the district governor and then past district governors by seniority, district governor elect, and then the district governor nominee. If there is an assistant governor coordinator allocated or available in this meeting, then we call him, followed by the assistant governors, the district secretary, the district treasurer, and then the governor aide, and last but not least, the district committee chair. This is the order that the meeting should be addressed. Generally speaking, in order to try and avoid any mistakes, or if any mistakes happen, then you can say that, well, protocol observed. Protocol observed, that means that I am trying to do my best to follow the protocol, but if something goes wrong, then please excuse me. So we normally go for the protocol observed in such a way that we say that this is our best interpretation of the protocol, in such a way that if I make a mistake or whatsoever, I will be excused. Then we go into a club meeting. If you are greeting people in your club or a joint meeting between some clubs, then we start with the club president, past presidents by seniority, president-elect, that's the next president, and then the president nominee, and that's, of course, you know, a nominee is the one that will follow the president-elect. And then if there are vice presidents, then we'll call for the vice presidents, secretaries, treasurer, and then the sergeant at arms. The sergeant at arms is I'm serious about this. This is one of the most important posts in the assembly of the meeting and running the meeting. He has an extremely important role into putting things into order. So he should be respected whenever he is introduced to the people. And then other board members of the club committee chairs, Rotarians, alumni, if there are any alumni, and Rotarian families. Anyhow, I would also sometimes recommend that if there is someone from outside your club is associated by his wife or maybe his spouse or whatsoever, then we call his name followed by her name directly. What I'm saying is, you say that we would like to welcome blah, 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 president of blah, 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 and his wife, blah, 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 in such a way that the spouses come into the order of the original order of the Rotarian who is attending. By the way, we do not call people twice. So we call, if I have a couple of posts, then I would be called only on the highest rank post that's on the list. So you go into the list if he is, let's say, for example, he's a governor aide and an assistant governor. When we call him, we'll say assistant governor, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. We don't say later when it comes to his role as an aide or whatsoever, we call him again, it's only once. And this is very important. Important also, again, that spouses should be graded at the same time and same rank as the spouse, whoever he is. Visiting Rotarians from other countries may be placed before local Rotarians. We may call them before the local Rotarians. Just a gesture, yeah. It's no more than a gesture to welcome them and thank them for being with us, in a sense. High-ranking non-Rotarians may be given priority in ranking. Yeah, and we can skip some of the ranks, and especially when we are inviting people from responsible people in governments or ministries or whatsoever. I don't think it is appropriate to leave them till the end of the presentation. So it would be wise if we can move them a little bit higher during the introduction as, again, a gesture according to local custom. It varies.
Sam, please, before,
yes.
Sorry, before we move
Yes.
to the next slide,
Yes.
there is a question from DPG, Dr.
Dr. Dafer, all yours. Sure, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Past President Hussam. My only question, if we have a meeting and in that meeting the governor was not attending, and he was represented by his assistant governor or the deputy governor, and there are
yes,
and there are some PDGs, past PDGs in the meeting.
yes,
do
sir.
we start with the PDGs or do we
Yes.
start with the assistant governor?
No, order should be observed. If the assistant governor is not there, the post assistant governors should be addressed first.
Okay, so because he represents the district governor, right?
Yes. Even if the governor is sending an assistant governor or whatsoever to represent him, even if,
right,
then he gets into order. يعني يجي في مكانه.
yeah,
يعني
yeah.
يتنادى في مكانه. لأن طبعا
It's
post assistant governor ده حاجة يعني لابد إن إحنا كلنا نحترمها يعني.
Dr. Hussam, very clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. طيب.
Okay.
Let's get back to the punctuality. I hope that we can all start the meetings on time, even if we are working now. Today we were working even online. We started something like 4 or 5 minutes late, but this is okay. But when it comes to 30 minutes and 40 minutes, I don't see this as appropriate for the people, because generally speaking, we want to respect that the meeting should be 1 hour. And then we can do whatever we want. So for the meeting, we have to start in time and we have to close also in time. Right. Do you have any question? I will be speaking in Arabic. I'll be taking questions in Arabic if there is something that needs explanation before we move to the next part of the presentation.
There are no questions,
yes.
I think, so you may proceed.
The other question is the seating. This is a big issue that I see everywhere.
The head table.
Yes, the head table. Sorry, yes, the head table. Right. The head table goes like this. You see the back? The back is the back of the head table. So the audience, the green are the audience, and they are facing the head table. And there is backward, there are two red points or red dots. The red dots are the flags. If there are flags, we'll be looking for the country flag and the Rotary International flag. So those will be the flags that are present on or behind the head table. If there are visiting Rotarians and we have their flags available in the room, especially if we are running, for example, a district conference or something like this, there should be flags for all the representatives from all around the world. We put the flags in the back to alphabetical order. Alphabetical order. So the priority goes for the Rotary International, actually the national flag, the Rotary International flag, and all the visiting flags are arranged by order in such a way that we do not prefer a country from a country. If you are the president, by the way, the head table should contain odd number of seats. One more time, odd number of seats, in such a way that the president will be the center of the head table. We have seen plenty of times that people put 6 chairs or 8 chairs or even 4 chairs. There is nothing like this. We have to do it in an odd number. Odd number means that the center of that odd number is the president, and there will be an equal number of seats to each side of his hands. So this is the simplest. What we see right now is the simplest way to arrange the head table. The president in the center, to his left hand, the secretary, and the guest, if there is any, to his right hand. Okay, this is the easiest. If you have a guest speaker coming from outside the club, and this is a normal meeting with a head table, the head table should be, as I told you, odd. Odd means that the president will be in the center and always the secretary to his left-hand side. Always the secretary to his left-hand side. To the right-hand side, that's the guest. Is that clear for everybody? Good, I can assume so. So if we go like this, then is this proper seating? Yes or no? I assume that this is proper seating because those are 7 seats. Then the center seat is the president. To his left-hand side is the secretary. Anyhow, before getting into the details, the order goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there is alteration between right-hand side and left-hand side. So as we could say in the last time, we started with the president. To his right-hand side, there is the guest. To his left-hand side is his secretary. Is that clear? Good.
We have a question from Sana. We have a question from Sana Sharafa.
Yes, yes. Sana,
you may proceed.
Yes, please. The maximum seating for the head table is 7.
Well, I do not see any point in putting more than 7 people on the head table.
I guess so.
That's too much. That's too much.
Yes.
Because getting on the head table, it's not a matter of recognition. It's a matter of a role in the meeting.
Yes.
A presence in the meeting. So overdoing things like this may cause problems that we do not need.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sadiqi Nabil, please. Nabil Hamad, my very best friend.
Nabil Hamad.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Dr. Hussam, you said that the seats on the head table should be in odd number.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Suppose we have a very special guest, like a minister. So we'll have the president and the secretary will be on his left side.
Yes.
And the minister on his right side.
Yes,
and
sir.
if we have this meeting, the district governor, so there will be 4 persons on the table.
Right.
That's
Well,
right.
would you give me, Nabil, would you give me the chance to finish it and then we touch on it? Because I have a couple of slides, a couple of examples.
Okay.
You know, and then we can start afterwards, maybe.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That would be easier, yeah. Right.
Okay.
السيناريو بيقول then I will take the president in the center, the district governor to his right hand side, and the secretary to his left hand side, and then the right hand side of the district governor is the assistant governor, because the assistant governor, the district governor would like to ask a question, a specific question about the club, and the nearest to respond maybe would be, or to help would be, the assistant governor, who is helping the club all year long. So I can assume that this is a very logical orientation. And if there is an agency, assistant governor coordinator, then he sits next to next to the club secretary, in such a way that all of the people attending would be of equal importance, in a sense. If there is a VIP, your VIP, let's say a minister or whatsoever, or a governor or whatever, governor, political governor, then he sits to the right hand side, and then the honorary secretary will be in his position. The honorary secretary position does not change, whatever happens. And then this is our district governor. The last one to the right, number 5, you put the name of whoever that you would like to put on the table. But normally we come into a mistake that the district governor sits next to the club president, and then the guests go to the edge of the table, which is never appropriate. Well, we want to give our governor respect or whatsoever, but nevertheless we have to respect more our guests. نبيل، سؤالك بقى، يعني انا التيبل قدامك اهي، نعمل ايه بقى السؤال؟
انا سؤالي if we have a guest speaker, a minister, of course the district governor will attend the meeting. Yes. Right? So we'll have on the head table the president of the club, and on the left side the secretary, and in right hand side will be the VIP, the minister, and after the district governor. So there are 4.
There are 4. Very good. There should be, yes, there should be one more table. You can select someone to be there, maybe assistant governor coordinator, if he is available.
Okay, the district governor can sit, and also maybe a friend of the minister who invite him can sit.
Fair and well. And also
and read
in seat 5.
The CV of the minister. Okay.
Sure, no problem. He will sit in seat number 5. Nabil.
Okay, most of the cases. Yes. Also, the public relations, the staff of the minister attend the meeting earlier, and they want also the minister to sit in the middle. Also, they want the minister to sit in the middle of the table.
Well, I see this is a very tough question, but we have to be assertive. Who is who is running the show?
Us.
We are running the show, huh?
Right.
Then we are in control and we are the drivers.
Okay.
Sam, we have a question from Faisal Juma, President Faisal Juma.
Faisal, أهلا وسهلا.
Hello, marhaba. I'm President Faisal Juma from the Rotary Club of Salmani in Bahrain.
أهلا وسهلا.
Nice to be here today. I have, in some cases where I want to introduce my friends to Rotary, and where I bring a couple of guests.
Yes.
So do I still put them? Can I put them on the head table, or do I have to? No, I cannot put them. No, I have to put them on.
The one who sits on the table should be ready to talk and give not only a speech, give information to the other people. Those people doesn't know yet about Rotary, so they sit down. There is also a protocol when you are inviting people that are away from Rotary. They should be greeted by the sergeant at arms at the door, and the sergeant at arms should elect someone, a member of the club, who is of the same occupation or the same background or same ethnic level, whichever, in such a way that he sits next to him throughout the meeting, maybe do the translation, maybe do explanation or something like that. Is that clear, ya Faisal?
Yeah, that's very.
Yes, Dr. Hussam. يعني I am so happy to hear what you're saying. خاصة إنه clubs يعني the clubs have to be given their importance as clubs.
Sure.
That's why we have a president in the middle, not because of the president, but because of the club. Unfortunately, هالأيام, you are here with us today, I'm happy. Unfortunately, Dr. Hussam, people do not respect clubs, the presidents of the clubs. Yeah. They feel that the president of the club is another guy, another Rotarian in the club, which is wrong. And المشكلة إنه sometimes they push them aside and they sit in their place or whatever. So I really, this has to be listened to everybody, that the president is only representing his club, and the club should be يعني يحترم الكلب مثله مثل أي كلب في العالم. الكلب لهالسبب مثل ما تفضلت إنه الكلب president حتى لو أجى رئيس الروتري بيقعد على اليمين، ما بيقعد محل البريزيدنت.
مظبوط.
Thank you for this information.
Thank you very much. ربنا يسعدك. Thank you very much, دكتور. If there is somebody, a representative of Rotary International is visiting the meeting, the first anthem will be the national anthem of the visiting representative of the Rotary International president. And then the anthem of the host country, and then the anthem of Rotary International. So we start by the national anthem of the Rotary International president representative. If he is not available, then we take the normal anthem order. Then the anthem of Rotary International. If a district has its own anthem, well, that's optional. The most important flag is the flag of the host country, and then the flag of Rotary International. So those will be right and left, and then all the flag of guest countries should follow alphabetical order. And this is what the protocol goes. This is as far as international meetings should be observed. And I really highly recommend that we use this presentation as, one more time, the presentation itself is prepared by my very best friend, Dr. Ahmed Saada, PDG Ahmed Saada. I would highly recommend that we take this and keep it as a reference, because it reminds us all of things that we may forget. Hi. How we do a normal meeting? We haven't seen normal meetings now. Actually, I haven't seen the normal meetings for quite a couple of years because of the COVID thing. Anyhow, we are about, I don't say now, we are about in a couple of months maybe that we will resume in normal order. So this is how we start. We start with the knocking the bell. It's the meeting call to order. So we knock the bell, and then everybody stands up. This is very important. And then we play the national anthem. If we want to play the anthem of the Rotary International, fair and well. If you want to play the anthem of the district, fair and well. If there is a club song, and I have seen this in Nigeria a couple of times, they have their own club song. So they sing it before the start of the meeting. So singing is, or the anthems, let me put it this way, comes before talking about Rotary. So we call it to order, anthems, and if there is a song, fair and well, and then we start the Rotary invocation. Rotary invocation, we tell what kind of activities, and this is generally done by the secretary. He will tell what kind of activities are expected in the near future. what kind of activities being done, and the club is joining or not joining, or just putting a journal of the events of Rotary throughout the next week, couple of weeks, 3 weeks, whatsoever. So that's always done by the club secretary. He keeps a log of the things that he should do, and then we start to introduce our guests and welcome our club members. This is how it works. I hope we can observe this. Really, I hope we can observe this, because sometimes we forget about our guests. So if there are guests, the guests are either Rotarians or non-Rotarians. If they are Rotarians, then we follow the order we spoke about in the first 3-4 slides. If they are non-Rotarians, then we welcome them as VIPs, and then we go and introduce the rest of the meeting. Okay? Pins. How many people are wearing pins today? I do not see anybody anyhow, but John, as usual. Okay, Rotary. This is our pin. This is something that we use to introduce ourselves to fellow Rotarians. It happened to me many times in airports all around the world. Seriously, to meet people and they start to welcome me because I'm wearing the Rotary pin. Where are you coming from, and what do you do? What do you do? And it normally turns out to be real opportunities to cooperate, and a real opportunity even to talk to people. So you should wear your pin with pride. There are many things. We have a table where we sell things or we buy things from having the Rotary emblem in different ways or forms. But remember always, if you are, and this goes, and I give this to our fellow Ahmed Sami Saad. He told me that something like 15 years ago. He passed away, I know, but I should always remember this. If you are, for example, a Paul Harris fellow, do not put Paul Harris on top of the Rotary pin. The Rotary pin is on the top, always is on the top. And if there is nothing important, then do not put it on the left-hand side. You may use the right-hand collar of your jacket to put whatever, or the other pins should follow downwards from the Rotary pin, our Rotary pin. Every year we have a theme. We have seen the theme of next year. I cannot remember the word. It's connect, I think. The circle and the 7 dots around it, that was made by that Australian thing. So every year we have what we call a theme that we always associate with the activities that we do in such a way that we can know which year that was made. I think this have started by Rotary International President Percy Hodgson from Rhode Island, USA. That was in the Rotary year 1949, 1950, and then started from then. Every year we have our thing. Those are examples. Huh? I think you can remember all those examples throughout the past 15, 20 years. I think I have been through all those personally. There are ties, and you can use the tie to display the pin, but please, if you have the pin, put your pin handy. This is not a replacement, it's just one more thing. Well, you can, if you do not have a pin and you're wearing a tie that really exemplifies the Rotary wheel, fair and well, but I would highly recommend that we keep it. I think this can also show how proud we are with this. We ladies are not kept out. There are scarves with the Rotary Year logo or the emblem or the wheel, whatever. So that those are things that we can talk about. Right. We come to the one of the most important things that, well, I faced problems and I still face problems. I try to do my best to research. I like to research. Well, what is the dress code? What is the dress code? Okay. In order of formality, the dress codes go like this. Number one, white tie. What is a white tie? Tuxedo with a white tie. عارفين البيضة. Okay, very good. Right. Then the black tie. Then what we call the cocktail, and then the formal, semi-formal, business formal, business casual, and casual. All right, for men, it seems, for me, it seems very easy. I do not know why the pictures does not show on the screen over here. If you talk about the dress code, the white tie, we use البابيون البيضة والبدلة التوكسيدو الطويلة السوداء. This is very rare to be used. دي بتستخدم في ambassadorial meetings, if you are visiting a president or a king or a queen or whatsoever, but this is not a norm in our meetings. Then we go into the black tie. The black tie, el papillon is black. Not very much of a difference for men. For the cocktail, we can use somehow shiny suits in a sense. Smoking, and then the formal, and this is the most common in our Rotary meetings. Before, the most common is the formal meeting. The formal meeting, you wear the full suit, generally dark full suit with a white or light yellow shirt and a plain tie or even striped tie. That's the most common in Rotary meetings. And then we go to the following, which is called the semi-formal. In the semi-formal, you can get rid of the tie. You may use a jacket with or without a tie, a blazer or whatsoever. And then we go into the business formal, and in the business formal, basically you wear dark colors in general, dark colors, but nothing fancy. Maybe a sweater, maybe a jumper, something like this. And then we go into the business casual, which is, well, casual. ممكن يبقى جينز، يبقى جبردين ومعاه شيرت، بولو شيرت كده. Or the real casual، انت ممكن تلبس شورت or whatsoever. ده الكلام ده للرجاله. I hope this is making sense for most of us. What is the one of the most important things that we do throughout meetings is the induction of a new member. When you are introducing or inducing a new member, you call the new member to come to the head table. All right, you invite him to come to the head table, and then before pinning him, who pins the new member? Well, actually, generally speaking, if you want to pin a new member during a normal club meeting, then the club president would pin the new member. Well, generally speaking, this is what I see. We want to induce the member in a gathering of Rotarians. So we would like to do it during membership seminars, during something that includes as many Rotarians as possible. This is a moment of pride. So I highly recommend that we induce people, induce our new members in something that will be memorable for all of them over their Rotarian life, if you know what I mean. Like, if you are doing it in a seminar or whatsoever, then the highest rank would do the pinning, not the club president. The club president would attend the ceremony, would be sitting, would be standing up next to whoever is pinning, like the DJ, for example, and the new member. But the pinning itself would be by the highest rank of the meeting, the highest rank of the meeting that we are doing it through. One of the good days to induce new members is the district governor visit, the day of the district governor visit. That would be a very good opportunity where he is pinned, the new member is pinned by the district governor, and it shows the new member what kind of ceremony and what kind of how we should be proud of Rotary. Whenever we are pinning the people, remember this, it's like a wedding. When we call the new member, all the Rotary members, all the people attending in the room should stand up. All of them should stand up, and then he will be addressed by the club president or whatsoever to give a brief introduction on what he is about to join, what is Rotary and things like this. A very brief talk. Then we pin them, and then we give them the chance to introduce themselves in a couple of minutes. It's a very good opportunity to allow them to speak in public with their new colleagues. People would love to do this. So do not do it like pinning 20 people in 20 minutes and something like this. This will never be memorable for the new club members. All right. This is the induction rules of the new member. I do not think I will read them for you. Remember, we have the code of conduct, we have the four-way test, and we have the object of Rotary. I was lucky that I worked on the Rotary Code of Ethics for District 2451 during the Rotary year 2019-2020. And we have this booklet, a very small booklet, includes all of the above, all what we have seen in a couple of pages in the size of A5. That's half of the A4, where we have summarized everything both in Arabic and in English. I would highly encourage you to find it wherever it is. It's in our Rotary office, or please contact me by mail, and I can send you a PDF copy of this. I can also see that this can be used as a good reference. The last thing we'll talk about is the virtual meetings like what we are doing right now, Zoom, WebEx, Teams, Hangouts, GoTo, whichever. Well, during the virtual meeting, remember that it is highly advisable. We are trying to do a meeting, so everybody should be enabling the camera in such a way that we can see each other. We can talk to each other. I don't want to talk to your static picture. We want really to work together. Well, I'm working in the university. We have been working now for about 36 or maybe 26 months. For 26 months. Well, whenever I can see my audience, I can communicate better, I can understand better, and I can feel whether they understand me or not. So I would highly encourage, if we do a virtual meeting, I would highly encourage everybody to switch on their cameras in such a way that we can see each other as if we are in a normal meeting. Remember always that if you are not very familiar with the techniques, I would highly recommend that you switch off the camera, because sometimes mistakes happen and it becomes really disastrous. Do not tamper with the keyboard. Please try to dress appropriately. Be aware of your surroundings because the camera sees everything and you do not see what the camera sees. So the camera sees everything. So in your background, there are many things. So using virtual background, like the one that I am using right now, this is what we call the virtual background. The virtual background is something that should be enabled جوه Zoom in such a way that there is no distraction or whatsoever from what's going on behind you. Please try to mute your microphone when you are not talking, like what you are doing right now. I'd really like to thank you very much for really keeping all your phones muted in such a way that there is no echo or it's not going up and down. And whenever you talk, please talk loud and clear, or use a neck microphone like what I'm using right now in such a way that you do not have to shout or speak up here loud. Well, it's not appropriate, as if in a normal meeting, it's not appropriate if you eat or drink or whatsoever. But well, if you are doing it in an informal way among friends, it's fine. Feel whatever you do. I can assume that there are a couple of backgrounds that you can see, that you can use. Those will be also available in the PowerPoint presentation, if this. And by this, I would conclude today's meeting. I really appreciate your presence. Thank you very much. And I'm open for all questions. John, I'm all yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Hussam.
Right.
Yes, Shukran. I just want to thank you. And I want to share with you one thing. We had some trainers, Doctor, in the past. And I had little bit disagreement with them because they were trying to convince me that I don't have to, when I talk in Rotary, I don't have to use my name as Dr. Al-Umran, which I have carried it all my life. And in Bahrain, there's nobody, even my family call me Dr. Al-Umran, and they want me as Rotary to call myself DAF. And I try to tell them that there is something called culture. And even if we have Rotary in New York, Rotary wants us to do this and this and that, there are few things that we have to have cultural specific in our behavior, the way we address each other.
This question, I think, the title issue, I think it's a cultural thing, and it differs from one country to another, from one culture to another. So I think we should follow the customs of the country. But in terms of Rotary or in Rotary vocabulary, there are no professional titles, even in Rotary International. I attended a lot of Rotary International events, and nobody uses professional titles like doctor or engineer.
Okay, our next question is from Rafiq Ramzi.
Okay, I have just two questions. The first one, if we have the pin of the theme of the year, should it be on the other side or the other collar or under the pin of the Rotary?
Well,
that's the first question.
The theme, does it include the Rotary pin?
No, it would
the Rotary
be actually,
emblem?
No, it includes only the logo or the theme of the year.
All right. Well,
so
if
it
you
would
want
be
to
on the
put
other collar.
You can put it on the other collar, or you can pin it below the Rotary pin.
Okay. The second thing, when we are pinning new members, if the district governor is not attending, you said the highest rank would be the one who is pinning. Do you consider the assistant governor or assistant government coordinator higher or the president higher? Who will be pinning?
That's again who is running the show. Who is running the show is the club president. If he wants to give honor to the highest rank, that would be his choice. It's a guest.
But then it's the president who decides.
Definitely. The president, generally speaking, the president has to control. He has to drive.
I want just thank you very much. Merci, Hussam.
Thank you very much. I hope it was informative for